Second video of the day. That's why I'm in the same outfit. Don't come for me talking about she wear the same shit every day. It's the same day, new angle, because I'm on my lunch break. I want to continue on the video that I talked about with friends who do too much, and you tell them they do too much, and then you have to dissolve the relationship, yada yada yada. So I want to continue the conversation and talk about the mental portion when you do dissolve a relationship or end a relationship that's not sexual, i.e., friendship, sisterhood, bromance, those kind of relationships, non sexual adult friendships, right? But I think friendship sometimes is a little vague. It's like on a spectrum. There are friendships that are on a spectrum. There are friendships that are on such a spectrum that they are not even classified as friendships and you can call them acquaintances. So I think there's your lifelong life partner friendships. You guys shared bath water and you guys are in the same retirement home. Although rare, it is possible. My husband is in a relationship like that. And I feel like when our time to transition has come, their caskets will be next to each other and the wives will be on the outside. And I think there's going to be a hole in the casket so they could hold hands in the dirt for life. Okay. If we were on a sinking ship and they could only save one person, they would save each other. And we would drown, the wives. We would drown. Those are rare, not impossible, but that is beyond a friendship. I believe that relationship, those type of relationships are even beyond siblingship. Um, quiet as it's kept, I think the friendship that they have or transcends even their own relationship that they have with their siblings. Um, and then you have, your regular friendships. Hey, girl, da 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 da. They say that the average marriage relationship lasts 5 to 7 years, and that the average friendship is 17 years. And we, as a society, place a lot of emphasis on relationships and marriage and da 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 da. When those relationships aren't the pivotal. They're not the top. Now you have some people, I've been with my man 30 years. Yes, that is your best friend. Yes. You've been with the same person 30 years. Y'all have a healthy, happy marriage. That is your friendship. I get that. That is rare. I'm talking about you've been married 5 years, but you've known your bestie since, fifth grade. And so, you go into the self-help section is how to get over a breakup, how to do this, da 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 da. And I'm not even gonna say rarely, I have never seen, because I've been through, some breakups that were very hard, and I found myself in the self-help section of Barnes and Nobles. I didn't see any books on how to adjust life and your mental whatever after a friendship breakup. And I found that interesting because it's like the silent mental health thing that we're not talking about. And maybe, maybe I'll write something about it. But I don't really have friends. But I could talk about how I felt and what I went through when I had a friendship dissolve, which was quite a few years ago. So I had some friendships when I moved to the Bronx, and many of them dissolved when I got with my husband. I talk about that in some prior videos, but a friendship dissolving, and I'm not talking about we grew apart, we moved, we got out of college, you got married right away, I didn't. I'm talking about something happened and I had to cut you the fuck off. That, like the betrayal, because there is betrayal. You slept with my man, you stole from me, you hurt me, whatever, whatever, whatever. A lot of times the friendships dissolve because you outgrow people, and that's healthy and natural, and that is fine. My life went a different path, your life went a different path. If we ever see each other in the street, it's all love. We're gonna hug. How you doing? Oh, good to see you. We didn't end on no bullshit. We just dissolved. right? I'm not talking about that. That is you might think about them from time to time, but if it is it a degree of hurt? No, no. I have some friendships that dissolved because our path went different, and yes, they pop into my mind quite a bit. Especially when I got my period and my hormones out of whack. But then I also am an adult in the social media age, because so I could still see what they're doing, and they could still see what I'm doing, and we could still comment, and we could still, it's all love, because we still have that connection through social media, not like 20, 30 years ago where you really had no access to the person. Once they were gone, they were gone. Right. I still have people that I was friends with in high school. I have not seen them since 2002, but I still know how many children they have, when they got married, their spouse's birthday, what degrees they got, what job they got, because of the joys and the wonderments of social media. There's no hurt there. Our path just went different. You moved away, but I can still see you doing good. Your children are beautiful. You're in a healthy relationship. Or now you open some businesses. Good for you, girl. You open some businesses. You bought a house. Like, I could cheer you on through my likes and comments. And then you have those relationships that something totally detrimental happened and you had to separate yourself from the person. Just like in my prior video about I keep going like this because I got the window down because it's kind of humid if I put the window up, but then I'm a little bit cold. So I'm going like this because I'm cold. Then I get hot. And I take it out. Anyway, so about my last friendship that I had to completely remove myself from because she was a dangerous drunk. Not a danger to herself, and it was very hard to see, and it was very hard to witness. It's very hard to be a part of. And consequently, her family, her mother specifically, was blaming me and my other friend group for this Jezebel behavior that her daughter was a part of. But it was just her daughter. But that hurt. That hurt. I don't even have this person on my social media. They were at the time. It was the beginnings of Facebook when you needed a college email address, and I I don't know if I deleted her or blocked her. I don't have access to her. I don't know how she's doing. I don't even know if she's alive. Um, so that hurt a lot because I think if it wasn't for all of the of all just that part, other than that, she was a fantastic person. So much fun, generous than a motherfucker. Like, if you didn't have anything, like if she had a sandwich and you didn't have anything to eat, she would give you half that sandwich, like without even a thought. Good, good, good person. And that's why it was so hard to see her engage in these unhealthy activities that could potentially hurt her or even have her killed, because I really cared about her. Out of all of the friend group, like, I cared about her the most. Even to say I loved her. Like, you could love your friends. Like, I loved her. Um, and it's still even hard to talk about her because I think if it wasn't for that, me and her would still be a thing. We would still be a thing. But I could not. I'm about protecting my mental health and peace. And I know that because of my feelings for her, I would either be dead or in jail for having to protect her. And that's not fair to me. That's not fair to my mother. And I had to, quote unquote, save myself. I hope she's doing well. Last time I did hear, she was married with children. And I just hope that she's good. But I couldn't do that. And if we were to rekindle, I would be hurt. And I don't know if this sounds selfish or fucked up. I would be hurt that she did that to us. You did this to us. I would be mad. You did this to us. So that was sad. And as I contemplated all day at work before I made this video, all morning at work before I made this video, I have not had those feelings for anyone else, even people I was sleeping with. The only person that would come close, like that would top it as of right now, would be if something happened to my husband. And that is because me and him been together 13 years. We were about to celebrate our 10-year wedding anniversary. He alone, just from exposure to my life, is the longest relationship, friendship I've been in. He is the longest. I'm not even going to talk about, well, I have another friend. That friendship ended in his death. I'm going to not pull him into that category of a friendship dissolving and the person still alive, because death is something totally different. I'll talk about that later. I believe that is in its own separate category. Like, I broke up with this girl. I'm talking about a breakup, not a death. Like, if me and my husband broke up is different than if he died while we were married, right? I'm not even going to put those two together. So if anybody watching me and who knows me and said like that is the hardest thing, well, what about your friend that died? I'll talk about him later. He's in his own category with mourning and death and friendship and stuff like that. I'm talking about having to dissolve with someone who's alive and pretty much deleting them from your life, which might not be the right thing to do. I'm not advocating that. I'm just saying that's what I did, because that is what I know. That I don't know if it's learned behavior or genetics. So my mother is the same way. And I don't know if that is a protective safety mechanism that we have, that we do not have the cognitive ability to be a functional adult while properly and respectfully slowly pulling the band-aid off of a friendship or relationship so that we can protect the feelings and emotions of everybody involved. No, we have to rip that motherfucker off like a band-aid. Right? Very much Saw. You ever watch the Saw movies? Cut off that fucking leg, cut off that arm to save yourself. That is me. Mice do it. You got a mouse with a leg stuck on a mouse trap, they gnaw that motherfucking leg off to be free. That's us. You know what? My symbol is the rat. My Chinese symbol is a rat, and I don't have my bracelet on, but my Pandora bracelet, I got a rat. Okay, I was born in the year of the rat. Maybe that's why I cut motherfuckers off. My mother's a horse. Do horses do that? I think if you break your leg, they shoot you. But anyway, I'm a rat. Okay, and I will cut that leg off to protect the rest of the body. So, not saying that's the right thing. That's what I do. So, yeah, there needs to be some exposure on what happens when a friendship ends. Like, it is traumatic. It is traumatic, and in my opinion, more devastating than dissolving a marriage or a relationship. And I'm gonna tell you why. There's shit that you say to your friend and practices of vulnerability, because there is no judgment involved, that you have opened up to your friend that you have never and will never open up to your spouse. If somebody tells me that their partner knows everything about them, the good, the bad, the ugly, I would say you're lying. You are lying. Not saying that people have regrets or they're shameful about everything, but there is need to know. There is need to know information. Case in point, I stupidly asked my husband who's the best woman he's ever had sex with. And he was young and dumb, because a man would have known to say, you, baby. you. But he was young And he said, a whole other person. I was living, living. And I thought I was strong enough to take it. Now, I am no professional humper. Okay. I'm not out there swinging from rafters, hanging from shower cords, big up to Mimi Fouls, shower rods, big up to Mimi Fouls. I'm not that girl. If anything, I am by definition a pillow princess. Okay. But in my head, I'm supposed to be best you ever had, best you ever had. But I'm not, like, the logical part of me knows, bitch, you ain't do nothing special to get that title. Is you, especially with your husband who met you almost at 30. Okay, he ain't meet you in your roaring 20s, 30, almost goddamn 30. Okay, and you damn near 300 pounds when I asked him, and I was to expect that he would say you. Now, he was nobody's husband yet, and he wasn't even somebody's boyfriend long enough to know that you are being set up. And you should say, you baby, you're the best. He did not say that. He said somebody else. I was so mad. I was so mad. I was swinging on him. I was screaming. I was so mad. I did the classic, go be with that bitch then. Go be with that bitch. I was 100% wrong. And if anybody tell you I said that, I'm denying. Okay? That was some childish, girly bullshit. Okay? But when I heard it, it crushed me. Honey, do I look fat in this? I could look like the Michelin Man, Missy Elliott in that fucking garbage bag. You tell me no, dummy. No, babe, you look good. You look good. Ooh, turn around. Got rolls hanging out, looking like a can of busted biscuits. You better tell me I look good. Anywho, nobody, nobody is 100% forthright with their spouse for safety reasons. You cannot be. Okay? But your friend, how am I looking this girl? Take it off. Take it off. You look bad. You look bad. Take it off. Why are you wearing those heels, girl? They leaning to the side. Take it off. That's how you are with your friend. And you know all the shit and the dirt that you did. Your friend was there. So yes, when that relationship dissolves, you are going to be destroyed because that is your person that you could be you with. No, you cannot. If I was to really let myself go, take the zipper, take it off, and really show my husband who I am, he would leave. He would leave. If he heard any of the intrusive thoughts that happen in this head, he would have to go. He would have to go. It's not real. Nobody is who they really, really like. Okay. Here's an analogy for the women. If I'm not explaining myself, because I'm not a wordsmith, but I know feelings. I have a little bit uh, access to air with this. Sorry, I touched the mic with this wig on. I have access to air. But when I was wearing a full lace wig, right, in the summertime, it had netting, but I have a lot of hair. Y'all seen the other videos of my natural. There's a lot of thick ass braids braided underneath here. It's hot. After work, sitting in my car, well, grab it like this. Sorry, guys. Grab it like this. Take it off. Throw it in the sea. This feeling is your friend. That wig on, that's your spouse. You come home from work, ladies, you don't even take the shirt off first. You were digging your hands underneath the shirt, depending on how big your titties are. You are either unstrapping it from the back, or if you got little titties like me, you're popping that clip off in the front. First thing you do is pop that bra off. You wearing a bra for 18 hours a day. They used to make bras called an 18-hour bra. That is your marriage, your relationship. You taking it off, that's your friend. Feels good. That relaxation and that feeling of tranquility and stuff, that is what your friend brings to you. Your relationship is that fucking bra. Okay? And you wear that bra more hours in a day than you don't wear that bra. I'm not counting sleeping. But actually, I do know some women that sleep in their bras. And they have to sleep in their bras because their titties would suffocate them or get stuck under them when they try to move because their titties were so big. So I do know women who actually sleep in their bras. Let me take that back. I know quite a bit of women who sleep in their bras. Okay? You wear that bra more than you don't wear that bra. So that breakup of that friendship is going to be more hurtful than a breakup. Sorry, guys. I'm learning. Don't touch the mic. That was in my critique. Stop touching the mic because we hear feedback. Is going to hurt. And I think hurts more. And I think hurts deeper. And I'm going to tell you why. If you break up with a spouse, let's use the main one, right? It's like the two reasons, financial or infidelity. Let's talk about infidelity. You divorcing your man because he was unfaithful to you, you're going to go through all the stages of grief, and then you come back to being mad because you feel betrayed. You're going to be mad. You dissolve a relationship because a friendship because somebody did something to you, you end in hurt. Because with a marriage, there are expectations. You see what I'm saying? I've said before. There are no expectations, you can't be hurt. Right? No expectations with a friendship besides being a friend. There's only one. They don't have to take care of you. They don't have to financially take care of you. They don't have to give you any children. You're not sharing incomes. You're not sharing a home. They're not on your tax return. It's less responsibility when it comes to a friendship. With a spouse, they owe you a lot. You owe me this, you owe me this, you owe me this, you owe me this, you owe me this. With such a skeletal relationship that is a friendship, you can't really fuck that up. You shouldn't be able to fuck you. There's not enough variables for you to fuck that up. So yeah, I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna be hurt. There's so many variables you could fuck up with a marriage. So many, right? Finances and infidelity being the main ones. And it just goes to show law of averages. An average marriage is 5 to 7 years, but a friendship is 17. The average is 17, which means there's some even longer than that. We need more support groups on when you break up with your friends. Maybe I'll start that. The Air Static Home for Wayward Friendships and How to Cope. Now, out the way. Friendships that end in somebody passing. Lord have mercy. My best friend, who my daughter's middle name is named after, his name was Kerry, died. Pretty much unexpected, but died while I was in the air flying to Atlanta to go see her, to go visit him. I'm sorry. He was in the hospital. He had been in the hospital for a while. I was going to go see him in the hospital. He died while I was in the air. Never got to say goodbye, no closure. Actually, I talked to him when I was going to the airport. No, the morning of, I talked to him on the phone. I talked to him or I texted him. I don't remember. I want to say talked. And I had texted him, I'm getting on the plane. No, I had called. I'm getting on the plane, but no answer. No answer. I said, I'm just going to go because he was supposed to send somebody to pick me up, or I'm trying to remember the story. Yes, supposed to make arrangements to pick me up. And anyway, his sister picks me up, and she's like, we didn't want to tell you, I didn't want to tell you. She tells me I asked her to pull over because I'm distraught for my mother. You know, that cry that you can't even comprehend the words. And it was, I'm still not over it. And I don't think I'll ever be. That is the equivalent. I don't know because I never lost a parent. But I think when it happens, because that is the circle of life, I will mourn my mother at the same level that I mourned my friend. I'm older now. I will be able to move on, but I sunk into a depression like no other. And when I say sunk into a depression, it was not traditional, because depression manifests itself in different ways. And when people hear depression, they think of you in your bedroom, under the covers, not eating, lights out, not talking to the world. That's one way. Another way is to do some crazy shit. And I did. I did some crazy shit. Very destructive behaviors, very adrenaline seeking behaviors. What is the point of life? This man was a good person and heart disease could take him out in his 20s. What am I even doing? Wasting my life being a Miss Goody Two Shoes? Fuck that shit. That's what happened. That is depression. That is another way depression manifests itself. And college is what brought me out of it, because I was a psychology major in class, in college. I have a bachelor's of arts in psychology. And my studies is what pulled me out of the depression, because I realized what the fuck was happening to me. I had no idea that what I was doing was a byproduct of what had happened to me and the trauma of my friend dying. It's through my studies and reading in the book. It's like, oh, that's me. Oh, oh, that's me. I'm doing that. Oh, this has a name. Oh, that's me. Okay. And what I did was contact the, oh God, what is it called? My job don't have it, but my other jobs had it. When they offer you free assistance for mental health and drug stuff and all that. I reached out for the mental health and I got 10 free visits of counseling. And if the counselor thought you needed more, they would make you a referral or write you whatever prescription or whatever you needed to present to your insurance company to get more treatment. But I was able to do it in 10 visits because I also was studying, and I was also able to realize what the fuck was happening to me. Because sometimes you don't know that you're going through something. How are you going to fix something you don't know it was a problem? I didn't know it was a problem. I thought I was in my 20s, my roaring 20s. I was having a good time. I was having a fun, and I was numb. I didn't know that's not normal to be numb. I wasn't numbing myself with alcohol and drugs like some people do. I was numbing myself with the adrenaline. Case in point, if you are hurt, you get that second, like let's say you're on an elliptical, right? And you've done it for an hour and you got 30 minutes left and you just feel like you just can't do no more. You want to stop. You get that second win. Oh, and you going and you finish the time. I constantly was searching for that second wind feeling, that adrenaline rush was keeping me numb. So the 10 sessions helped. You know, I was able to say, look, I'm a psychology major, this and this and this and this. Do you think this and this and this? And some of the stuff they said, no, you're not that, and yes, you're that. And I was able to help myself and identify what I was doing, and also not stop it completely, because that would be like fucking crashing into a brick wall. You can't just go from something and just completely stop. You will hit a brick wall. And to slowly change my behaviors. And I did that. That friendship ending because of a death, whether it be sudden or slow or whatever, is just as hard as losing a parent. I would even go on, your God, I forbid. I really, truly don't know what this feels like. But the way I was feeling, I felt like a part of me was gone. Like I still, well, not now, because it's been 20 years. Right? How old am I? Yeah, 20 years since he died. Phantom feelings of this relationship. Like, you know, when people say they have phantom limb pains, like, you know, an amputee said they still feel the leg from time to time. That I still have phantom feelings of this of this friendship that pops up. Not often, a couple times a year. I think about him, but the feeling of having that friendship comes back to me, because I feel like, oh, I should check up on him. I'm not saying that. It's that feeling like, oh, I haven't spoken to Kerry in a while. Oh, he's gone. I think that will never go away. So just to be introspective, friendship breakups are just as hard, if not harder, than the disillusion of marriages.